What's going on, y'all? J. Rod Anderson here. Welcome to the Path to Financial Independence YouTube channel. Well, my mission is to simply share with you information to help you move one step away from that 9-to-5 grind and one step closer to financial independence and wealth creation. So if that's something that you're interested in, please do hit the like and subscribe button. Yo, let's take the journey together. You see the empty shelf right there? Listen, I have that reserved for my silver YouTube play button. Now, we at 27 right now, so we got a little ways to go, but I thought it would be so amazing to just share this with you from the ground level, and you can just mark this date. What's the day's date? September the 18th. You can go back to this video when you see that button up there. And remember that Gerard said on September 18th, 2023, that he was going to get that YouTube silver play button. So thank you for your part in that whole process. But this is what I want to talk about. What's one of the biggest roadblocks to financial independence? So here's what I believe is one of the biggest roadblocks to financial independence that I think, especially my 9-to-5ers that we deal with. And it's this: wage stagnation. Let me say that again: wage stagnation. So let's really get into that. What is stagnation? Stagnation is a situation in which something stays the same and does not grow or expand. Does that sound like your current salary? Does that sound like your current financial status, where it's just like, boo, flat line? It's not growing, it's not increasing. Well, that's what stagnation is. It's a lack of activity, a lack of growth, and a lack of development. So if that kind of sounds like the situation that you're in, where it's just your earning has been relatively the same over the last couple of years, maybe, it might have gone up 1 or 2% because you got a raise or a step increase or whatever the case may be, chances are you may be in the place of wealth stagnation. And so when we talk about being financially independent, we gotta break out of this place of stagnation where our wages and our money and our finances are concerned. But here's the tricky thing with wage stagnation, and it's this: your pay can actually increase, but you still are in a place of wage stagnation. And the reason that is because even though your wages increase, your purchasing power, either it stays the same or more than likely is going to decrease. And how does that happen? Inflation. I remember when I was a little kid, growing up, when I was maybe like 12 years old, we had a store across the street from our house called Handy Dan's. I could go to Handy Dan's and get me a Snickers bar, get me a pack of M&Ms for 42 cents. 42 cents. So I could get two with $1. Now you tell me, where in the world are you going to go at in this economy and buy a regular pack of M&Ms or a candy bar for $1? I didn't even say less than $1. I said $1. It's not going to happen. Why? Because of inflation. So going back to what I was talking about with wage stagnation, even though your wages have increased, your purchasing power has decreased because of inflation. So that's why you have to take that stagnation off of your earnings, because you need to make sure that the purchasing power of your dollar is keeping pace with inflation. So the reality is that your 9-to-5 is not going to pay you enough to help you overcome and break free of this stagnation. Because like I said, even if you get that 2% raise or you get that step increase, it's not going to be enough to help you break out of that place of stagnation. But peep the game. That's for your regular wage earners. Peep the game of the top 1%. And I did some research on this, and it was probably not shocking to you, but probably it was a little bit surprising to me. But check this out. Since 1979, the top 1% wage, the wage of the top 1% grew by 138%. So think about that. So you're talking about your CEOs and your executives. Since 1979, their wages grew by 138%. Now I got a question for you. How much do you think the remaining 99%, or let's just say 90%, what do you think the 90%, what do you think their wages grew by? All right, 15% since 1979. So that means that your wages have increased minimally since that time versus the 1% where theirs have already grown by 138%. Here's something else that I found that was interesting too. It says that middle wage workers, their wage earnings was up by 6% since 1979. So look at the different levels. The middle wage worker, their wages were up 6% since 1979. The low wage earners, their wages were down 5% since 1979. And guess what? Those who had high wages, they saw a 41% increase in their wages. So what it looks like to me, the less that you make, the more that your wages fall. So guess what? No matter where you find yourself at, the closer you are down to the bottom, chances are that your wages are going to either stay stagnant or more than likely they're going to decrease. So it challenges you to figure out, how am I going to break out of this place of stagnation? And here's the last statistic that I saw. It says that the wages of young college grads have been also falling since 2000. And so you think about it, that made sense, especially after we came out of COVID. A lot of young people that went to college and got a degree, they had a real hard time finding jobs. So that presents a problem, man. We have to do things a little bit different. So I know you may be saying, okay, Gerard, I got you. I'm probably in that place of wage stagnation. What in the world am I supposed to do? Got you. Glad that you asked. So here's the first thing. Number one, you have to come to grips with the reality that the system is not going to change in your favor. So in other words, they're not going to raise salaries, raise the minimum wage in such a place to break you out of stagnation. Now, like I said, you may get your 1 to 2%, but let's be honest, system is not going to change in your favor to break you out of this place of wage stagnation. So what does that mean? And let me echo this too before I go on. I went to Invest Fest a few weeks ago. Man, life-changing event. But Diddy said something that was so profound. He said, ain't nobody coming to save us. He's like, I've already been over on the other side, and ain't nobody coming to save us. And you know what? I got a sombering reality for you. Ain't nobody coming to save you either. And I know that may sound tough, but you just have to come to grips with that reality. Ain't nobody coming to save you. So you're going to have to take matters in your own hand and make some things happen. So number one, like I said, you got to come to grips with the truth that the system is not going to change in your favor. So what you need to do, number two, is if the system isn't going to change for your benefit, then guess what? You're going to need to change for your own benefit. And we're not talking dollars and cents yet. We're just kind of talking just mindset and just getting to the actual factuals of this thing. So you're going to have to change for your own benefit. But here's the problem with that. And this is a biggie right here. You've already been subconsciously programmed by the system to stay stagnant. So think about this. And this is, I'm not going to go too deep with this right now, but from the time that you were a child, you probably heard things like, money don't grow on trees. You got to work twice as hard. And it's like, you're not going to ever be paid the same thing as some of your counterparts. All these type of different things or I got more month than money. So you have already been conditioned by this system to stay on a place of stagnation. And you know how you can tell? You can tell in a person's words, and I'm saying that this isn't going to be you anymore. But listen to the type of words that a person thinks. Listen, pay attention to their thoughts. Pay attention, make it personal. Pay attention to your beliefs. Pay attention to your emotions. Pay attention to your actions. Pay attention to your habits. So where you are right now financially is intentional based off of all of the things that I just mentioned to you. You are where you are right now because of how you have been programmed to think and believe. And I don't care how much you complain about it. I don't care how upset you get about it. I don't care how much you think you're being treated unfairly. If you do not listen to me closely, if you do not change the programming, then your outward status is not going to change either. I don't care what you do, even if you get a raise or get a good job, that programming is still going to find a way to pull you right back down to that level of stagnation. And so that's why I talk about breaking free of that 9 to 5 grind. Now, let me be clear with this. I'm not saying that you break free of having a job, because you need that as a foundation as you're building your way to wealth and financial independence. But you got to break free from the programming that you put all of your dependency on that one source of income, because you're going to be stagnated. Wage stagnation, that's what we're talking about. So this is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to change the program. Well, God dog, Gerard, how in the world do I do that? Because that sounds kind of complicated. Well, it's not complicated, but it takes a lot of work. I'll put that. But like I said, you're going to have to change your whole perspective and your whole relationship where money is concerned. You're going to have to start changing your words. You're going to have to start giving yourself some new thoughts so you can start thinking on a higher level. You're going to need some new information, and you're going to have to change your belief system. You're going to have to start changing how you see yourself as it relates to money. So as opposed to, what does an employee do? An employee essentially works for money. You're going to have to change that mindset where I'm not working for money. In my mindset, money is going to work for me. And even though you may have a job, get this, I'm just talking about the mindset and the psychology behind it right now. So you're going to have to change all of this internal stuff before you can start to actually see some changes on the outside. Why is that? Because your words, your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, all of those things determine your actions, your decisions, and your habits. So all of those internal things are going to influence how you make money, i.e. working a job for 30 years until you retire, and hoping and praying that you have enough in your 401k or in your retirement IRA or whatever you have, working one job and hoping that you can make it 30 years to quote unquote retire. So all of those things have to be addressed before you can start making some different decisions, which will in turn change how you make money, how you spend money, how you save money, and how you invest money. So I was thinking about in helping people move closer to financial independence, knowing that you have to deal with all of this internal stuff even before you start dealing with how much debt you're in, your debt to income ratio, how much are you saving and investing. Before you even deal with that stuff, you have to go on the inside and deal with these root level issues. So if these root areas are not addressed, like I said, nothing is going to change. I really want to drive that home. We got to get to these root areas before we start getting to the stuff that we see online all the time, getting out of debt, which is important, saving, your rainy day fund, all that stuff is important, but we got to get to your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and belief. So understanding this, I was just like, okay, how can I help people get beneath the surface to uproot some of these programmings so they can be in a position to move closer to financial independence. And so what I did, I created this course that's called Supernatural Wealth Mastery, and breaking free of that 9-to-5 grind. Supernatural Wealth Mastery. And I named it that because I just got to get people thinking on a higher level. Like supernatural, I want you to start thinking beyond what you believe is possible. I need you to start thinking like, man, I don't have to be limited to just this one way of trying to either get out of debt or trying to be financially independent. I need you to take your whole thought process on a higher level, on a supernatural level. Now, I know some people hear supernatural and they start thinking like, ooh, kind of mystic and, all spiritual and all these different things. And there is a spiritual component to it, but I just want you to think cut above the natural. So you got to have your natural, that's your foundation, but you can put something super on that natural to operate on a level beyond just ordinary means. So I know that made this sound technical, but we'll explain it all in the course. But here are 7 things that I'm going to hit on in the course. And so if you know that you're that person, it's just like, man, I know that programming has me thinking like poor, I'll never get out of the situation, I'll never pay off this debt. Man, go ahead and visit supernaturalwealthmastery.com and reserve your spot for it. But I just wanted to share with you, these are 7 things that I really am going to attack in this course to help free your mind and your subconscious programming so you can have that clear pathway to financial independence and wealth creation. So number 1 is discovering and operating in your supernatural wealth identity. That's probably the foundation of the course. If I can get you to understand that you have a supernatural wealth identity. Wealth isn't what you have more so than it's who you are. If I can get you to understand that, then it's almost like dominoes falling over. The rest of the process is going to get easier and easier and easier because now you're going to start approaching this whole becoming financially free from a place of, oh, all I'm doing is moving towards what I already am. I'm not fighting trying to make something happen. I'm already wealth. I'm already financially free. If you can get that in your thinking, then the opportunities to make it happen is going to just start fall right in your lap almost. Number 2, change your relationship with your money. And so you have to change that mindset of right now, most of our relationships is a working relationship with money. I work for money. No. We're going to change all of that. I don't work for money. Number 1, money works for me. Number 2, I master money. So I need you to start speaking those type of words. I dominate financially rather than just trying to get by, trying to make ends meet. Nah, you got me all wrong. I dominate financially. So we're going to work on changing your relationship with money. Number 3, getting clarity on who you are and what you want. Once you understand who you are, getting what you want is not going to be a problem. But a lot of people, they go after and focus on what they want with no concept of who they are. And that's why you struggle so much. You got to get an understanding and a revelation of who you are. And once you really know who you are, what you want, it'll come looking for you. Come on, y'all better write that down. Once you get a revelation of who you are, what you want will come looking for you. Oh, man, I could go off on that one. I can go parabolic on that, but we're going to keep on going. Number 4, reprogramming your limiting conditioned beliefs. Let me tell you this. All things are possible if you believe, but all things are impossible if you believe that too. So you see, belief is that 2-sided coin. I know we hear definitely in scripture, all things are possible to him that believes, but if your belief is as such that, man, it's impossible for me to get out of debt, then guess what? It's going to be impossible for you because that's what you believe. So we're going to really have to go in and do some surgical uprooting of that belief system to get you to the point to remove the limitations off of what you believe. And when you get to that point, and guess what it is? That's supernatural. When you get to the point where you just believe, I'm not limited in any way. Anything is possible and anything can happen at any time. And there's a level of power that comes with getting your belief and your mindset to that place. All right, number 5 is creating your financial ecosystem. So your financial ecosystem is your money mind, it's your money management, it's your money habits, it's knowing your numbers. All of those things create a financial ecosystem. I need you to be intentional about creating a financial ecosystem that's working in your favor. The problem is our financial ecosystems, has been created by somebody else. You've let somebody else dictate your ecosystem, and it's not doing what you needed to do, but you didn't know you had power to create your own. And so you just settle for just trying to get by, trying to make ends meet, because you're not in control of your financial ecosystem. That's why I had these shirts made, be your own CEO. Be your own. In other words, take control of your own financial ecosystem. Be your own CEO and start with your life. Take full control and authority over every aspect of your life. I own it. Whatever is good, I own it. If it's not good, I own it. And if you do that, guess what? You can change it too. Number 6, like I said, being your own CEO. The other aspect of that is just tapping into your creativity to create. That's one of the biggest things that I'm going to cover in the course, is that understanding who you are largely means understanding that you were created to be a creative being. The creation process is supernatural in itself. I'm not going to get into that too much now, but that's going to be your secret to breaking out of this wage stagnation and even wealth creation. Is going to be tapping into your inherent creative ability. And lastly, is just manifesting wealth from your DNA. So in other words, instead of looking at creating and building wealth as all of these external things that you have to do, I want you to change that perspective, and I want you to start seeing wealth coming from you. It comes from the type of words that you speak. It comes from the ideas. It comes from the things that you create. It comes from the relationships that you build. And those things in turn are going to bring the opportunities that you need to bring wealth. Listen, don't worry about how it's going to happen. I promise you, if you fool with me long enough in this course here and get these things straight, it's going to open up a whole new realm of possibilities that you never thought possible, simply because you didn't believe it was possible. But once you believe it's possible, then it's going to become possible. So that's all that I have. So go to www.supernaturalwealthmastery. I'll put the link down in the description. So make sure that you go and check that out. Reserve your spot. The course begins October the 2nd. And we're going to have some personal one-on-one sessions with me, so we can all kind of work through the content together and get a real revelation and understanding of who we are. And once we do that, all the floodgates are going to open. So appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go check out some of my other videos, and let's go ahead and make this move towards this YouTube silver play button. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.